All right, welcome my podcasters back to Trekking Prosperity 101. Good afternoon to you. So, I say so a lot. I try to stay away from the ums, which between the two, I know that I often have long pauses because I'm thinking. Do want to mention to my prosperity attractors, I like that. The perfect start. Why is it the perfect start? Because you started, and that's perfect. I love that. I don't even have to write it down. I'm going to copyright that. Don't steal it. It's trademarked. This morning I said to myself, I don't even want to do this. And I had to do some things, got some phone calls, blah, blah, blah. Here it is, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm finally doing it. Lights didn't work. Lights were broken. I had to go pick up a light from my daughter that I let her borrow and blah, blah, blah. Finally, it looks like the lighting's decent. You can see one of the lights there in the mirror. And I debated on taking the mirror down. I'm like, whatever. I think I'll have to, in front of me, which I don't think you can see that. In front of me, I have my TV, and I have the video on there, so I can see myself. Over here, I have the monitor that I have the podcast going on. Over here is where I control the slides from the TV behind me. So, this has been interesting. Again, with the perfect start, the equipment, Lord have mercy, all the stuff that I've bought over the years. And, I use some of it. And there's... The point is to get started and build and do the things you need to do on the way. Obviously, you have to have a laptop. I've been wanting to replace my laptop. This thing is probably, 5 years old. But, it's an i5. It's a Toshiba. I've replaced the battery. I've replaced the Wi-Fi card because it didn't have 5G on it, which it now does. I typically try to keep it plugged straight into the internet. I added memory. I have 16 gigabyte of RAM. I changed the hard drive. I have a 500 gig SSD, solid state drive. I had to take it apart and fix the power jack because I dropped it while it was plugged in and it broke it and bent it. But even today with what I've done to this, to go buy another one that's comparable is pretty expensive. And, like I said, I'm running, I have a dock that it's plugged into. So, this monitor is plugged into the dock. This monitor, HDMI, is plugged straight into the laptop. And then I am wirelessly connected to the TV in front of me, and then I have a webcam going and a microphone, and the sucker's going. These lights that you see, I bought them a long time ago with a whole package of doing a green screen. I thought it was so cool, and I was like, yeah, I'll do a green screen and make my videos pop. And so I think it's important because I watch some people's videos and they're kind of boring. First rule of thumb with video is microphone. Have a good microphone. They have to hear you. If they can't hear you, if it's fuzzy and they can't see that well, that's fine. But if they can't hear you, it's done. You're wasting your time. So I like to make it somewhat visual pleasing. You know, I will change this eventually. You have to be able to keep the main thing the main thing. You have to keep what's important. And I was working on the websites. I was doing a lot of stuff, and I said, you know what? Content is key. Depends on what you're promoting, what you're doing. Everything's going to take a different approach. You know, if you're just wanting to do some affiliate marketing and set up a funnel, then you're going to have a different focus. I tend to make things more difficult for myself, but when it's done, the reward is greater. And again, you know, maybe you don't want to get on video. Maybe that's not for you. Maybe you do want to do a podcast. And, you know, Anchor, I'm using Anchor, and which is funny. If you listen to the podcast, there's an advertisement in there. That's how I get paid. It's not a lot, but I'm accumulating money through the podcast. So, yeah, you just got to get going. My goal is to. I said yesterday I would have the websites up, and I don't. I mean, they're up, but they're not. The funnel on the website's not set up yet, which I've been neglecting some people, and so that's got to be taken care of today. But as soon as I get done with that, my goal is to set up a funnel through ClickFunnels. And then I will teach how to do that, because that will make things so much easier. Because right now I have HostGator hosting my WordPress. Now there are easier ways to do a website, but like I said, if it's easy, everybody will do it, and it depends on what you're trying to accomplish, which I'll help share that information with you as I go. If you need something that's searchable, like My Assembly Guy, that website, I need to be able to have SEO. And I guess any site needs to have SEO. And these ready-made for you websites that are out there, they are not SEO friendly. You have to have your own hosting, an SEO package. There's a lot to it, and for most of you, you should know SEO, search engine optimization. That means when somebody goes to Google you, they find you. Now, if somebody Googles assemblies in Pinellas County, I come up on the first page, and that's important to me. Now, you can do advertising. So, you know, there's a mix. You want a mix. You want to be able to go every which way. But if SEO, if you're not expecting people to search for you and you're going to do advertising and go straight to your customer, then SEO is not as important. And if you just have, if you're just wanting a website that you can send people to, that's another thing. But to set up, and setting up a WordPress on HostGator isn't that hard. It's basically just a couple of clicks. But then, you know, when you start setting up, because I use Optimized Press, WordPress is good. They've got tons of different templates that you can use. You know, finding the right template. A friend of mine used Optimized Press several years ago, so I just went with it. Everything has a learning curve. Keep that in mind. You know, just you have to. This is where the saying "enjoy the journey" comes in, because it's either time or money. You either spend your time doing it, or you spend money paying someone else to do it, and that can get expensive. I am a techno geek. So I enjoy doing this kind of stuff, but it has its limits because I'm wanting to accomplish something. So when you get stuck in that, you know, I'll redo I do all my own graphics and stuff, but you start getting caught up. You know, you want to change this, you want to change that, and it keeps you from moving forward. So. with that being said, I'm extremely hungry right now. I haven't eaten today, and it's 3 o'clock. So, figure out what you want to do, how you want to make your money, and take time to meditate and visualize. You'll hear often start from the end. So see what you're wanting, see what it looks like in your mind's eye once you have what you want. What's the main thing? My main thing was to be able to plug anything into a marketing system, be able to work from my computer and travel. And because it was such a challenge, I wanted to be able to teach other people how to do that. And the challenge for me was trying to keep it as simple as possible. Because I'll often tell myself, nobody's going to go through all this crap that I'm going through. Well, people do. So I try to remind myself of that. So my realm is down here for kind of the beginners. It's not where the big money's at, but there's... then I pass you on, because there's these guys that, you see where they started off in the bottom and now they're just doing these big seminars once a year that cost, the tickets are thousands of dollars and whatnot. And Russell Brunson with ClickFunnels, he tries to keep it simple for the beginner, and that's what has attracted me to him and to use his process. So I'm looking forward to getting that going and sharing that with you. Because I think that's a good way, even if you're just going to do affiliate marketing. But, it all has to be cost effective, and it's all about the results. So, day 2 in the can, so to speak, and 28 more to go. And I think I'll have this process down to where, that's where that light is. Okay, see, I was looking at that reflection up there, and that's that little light over there, which I can turn. I forgot to turn it off, but I'm sure that's not bothering you that much. So yeah, this has been interesting. With when I first set the TV up, it was getting a glare from the ceiling lights, so I had to manufacture something so I could lean it forward, and yeah, it's been interesting. So, but like I said, I'm enjoying it. And, yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow.